We're now going to switch gears, and we have another fantastic discussion coming up, one I'm very excited to see. Gerard Boussard of Premeditated Media is going to be talking to 4 of the big OEMs about the work that they're doing to use data to provide greater insights around measurement. So I'm delighted to welcome Gerard and his 4 panelists: James Alexander from Vizio, Justin from LG Ad Solutions, Dan Robbins from Roku, and Maggie Zhang from Amazon Ads. Gerard, take it away.
John, thank you for passing me the baton. I appreciate it. And welcome, panelists. As John mentioned, you're from some of the biggest technology companies in the industry, but you're relatively new to advertising, but things are moving rather quickly. And we're here to discuss and help the rest of the attendees here learn a little bit more about what you do and what your point of view is on the various aspects of measurement. So I thought a good first question would be to help familiarize the attendees with exactly what sort of ad inventory that you have in your organizations. And please keep all marketing and promotional hyperbole to a minimum. We're trying to be very efficient in this particular panel. And I'm going to start with Justin, and then the rest of you folks can jump in after Justin responds. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Gerard. And I'm pleased to be here with everyone. I want to thank CIMM. I want to thank Jane for all the work that she's done over the years, and congratulate her, and welcome John, congratulate him as well. I'm Justin Fromm. I'm head of research at LG Ad Solutions. We are the sales arm for LG TV households in the US and around the world. In the US, we sell ad inventory on LG smart TVs, as well as connected devices across our LG TV household based on our proprietary device graph. So that includes in-video and home screen inventory on LG televisions, across owned and operated properties, as well as across partner networks. And that's including inventory from leading ad-supported apps. And then we also sell cross-screen inventory on digital devices throughout the LG TV household via our proprietary device graph.
Okay, anybody jump in?
Sure, I'm happy to jump in. Hi, everyone. Great to see everyone's familiar faces. Actually, I was looking forward to this panel. Definitely, it's a great reunion. So for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Maggie Zhang, leading measurement success at Amazon Ads. So I'm leading the marketing and thought leadership arm in terms of developing thought leadership on audience insights, campaign measurements, and also educate our marketers and advertisers and partners about our measurement capabilities. So per your question about the Amazon Ads supported streaming TV inventory, we have actually a few different inventory sources. And one, IMDb TV, the premium ad-supported streaming TV service. And then also, as you heard, Twitch, the interactive live stream entertainment content on Twitch, and a lot of our third-party premium publisher partners and publisher apps, and our news apps on Fire TV. And then most noticeably, definitely top of mind, and the most exciting part right now, a live sports on Prime Video. And as you know, it's gonna be exclusive game available on Prime Video and Twitch starting this coming season.
Well, I would say that's very diversified. Dan, can I ask you?
Sure. Dan Robbins, I'm Vice President of Ad Marketing and Partner Solutions at Roku. Very excited to be here and to see all of the agenda over yesterday and today. In terms of where ads run on Roku, it really falls into 3 buckets. Roku is America's largest TV streaming platform, and the video ads run in ad-supported channels across our platform. They also run in the Roku channel, which recently became one of the top 5 largest channels by reach in the US across platforms. And then it also runs off platform with OneView, which is our ad buying platform. And so that includes ad inventory on Roku, video ad inventory on other connected TV platforms, and on desktop, mobile, out of home as well.
James?
I'm James Alexander, Director of Product. So we put the product and the features together for the ACR brand, which is Inscape at Vizio. I just want to take a moment and say I'm enjoying the conference that John has put together, and very much appreciate Jane and having worked with her through the years. we are the #2 manufacturer of TVs in the US, and we operate a proprietary platform called SmartCast, which is what appears on the TV screen out of the box. And within that, of course, are all the apps that we offer that you're familiar with to provide video content. Also, we have banners on that platform that we sell as well, a hero banner and a set of smaller banners that rotate. And then those lead you into the, the various program sources. We have hundreds of proprietary and shared channels that run on our WatchFree+ platform, and we sell the ad inventory on those as well. We also provide something we call Household Connect, which allows, through our individual households to connect and sell inventory on mobile devices, PCs, and the like in the home. Because we have a high quality ACR panel, we also are able to look across the different platforms and offer reach capping, combined reach and exposure as well, and universal frequency capping.
Thank you. I think we've got some great background for some more questions here as we go deep into what you guys offer. Thinking about, and if you could highlight the first-party metrics that you have at your company and how you might leverage them to serve advertisers and partners, that would be great. So you don't have to go through all the nooks and crannies, but give us the top line of your proprietary or first-party data that you think sets you apart. Anyone can start to answer. All right, I'll pick Maggie.
Sure. Well, as you know, Amazon is a store. Hopefully everyone has used it to date, but it's definitely more than that. Right now, as of today, our customers can browse for products, services, can listen to music, can watch streaming TV shows and movies, can listen to podcasts. So all these interactions, first-party interactions, will translate into behavioral signals for our advertisers to understand their potential customers and also reach the relevant audiences. So there are two major use cases, I will say, based on our first-party signals. One is to reach relevant audiences and create audiences based on past behaviors of streaming and shopping. So for example, we can create tech enthusiasts based on their past purchase behavior of tech products or browsing history of tech products for a device advertiser. So these audiences, based on our past campaign tests, definitely perform better in terms of driving consideration and conversion than traditional demographic audiences. Then the other use case is measurement. A lot of these on Amazon interactions can be translated into awareness, consideration, and purchase for our advertisers to understand the impact and the campaign performance. For example, branded search is a proxy for awareness, and detailed page view is a proxy for consideration, and then the actual purchase as conversion.
So it sounds like interactivity is a core theme of what you guys use as one of your first-party metrics. Anybody else want to jump in here and talk?
Sure. We provide transparent access in post buys to specifically where spots ran and when they ran, and we're able to provide those at an ID level within our homes, and those can be matched by our customers and our partners so that they can match them with the individual segments that they're trying to reach and across the other campaigns that they're running. And then in addition to that, we offer, of course, ACR data to help target those individuals and then also validate the reach and frequency of those campaigns as well. And that verifies that the spot actually appeared on the glass, how long the spot actually appeared on the glass, as well as what was the content before and after the spot appeared.
So it sounds like location is a good offer there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We focus a lot on the quality of that panel and the measurement that we're doing.
Great. Dan, you're going to start?
Yeah, what I build on what Maggie said, which I think is an exciting thing about all of TV streaming, is that it's a full funnel device. And so it's used for awareness and branding, it's used for consideration, and then it's also used for conversion. And so to the question about first party data, there's kind of a couple pieces to it. There's planning and using all of the data to understand who you're going to reach. A big part of that is automatic content recognition, or the ability to have second by second data on the ads that are served and the programming that's watched on linear television. And Roku has the largest ACR data set that's tied to identity. And so that's a first key part of it. The second is, again, around the ability to measure consideration and who you're actually reaching. And so reach, frequency, and the ability to also talk to users directly to understand, is the ad actually moving the needle on awareness, favorability, intent, and surveying right on the device itself. So sitting on the couch with a remote and answering questions. And then third and finally is that piece of conversion. And so actually using data that we have tied to outcomes to be able to measure an actual cost per acquisition. And increasingly advertisers on the Roku platform are actually buying on CPA. They're not buying on CPM. And that key piece, the ability to marry all of those things, is I think what's exciting about TV streaming in general.
Thank you. Justin, anything to add?
I'm going to sound like a little bit of a broken record, but yeah, I mean, absolutely. The full funnel promise of TV is here with connected TV and streaming. Right, our first party data is similar to James's, right? It comes from the TV set. So it's content consumption and app behavior. And similarly, as Dan was saying, we use this for planning so we can build target audiences for advertisers, either based on viewing behavior, ad exposure, app usage, other factors, and then tie that to outcomes, right? So whether they be TV-based or across viewers' digital footprints or physical footprints, we have a data science team that spent years interrogating this data to build models around how viewing behavior relates to online and offline behavior. I also want to say that, I think it's really important, and one of the reasons we're all here talking at CIMM is that we understand the need to really support the industry's measurement efforts. And we believe in transparency, and you're going to hear that from me a lot, in this panel. But we also provide a wide range of data points back to advertisers, including impressions, unique and incremental reach for their campaigns. And we're supporting measurement efforts kind of across the board. As I think folks have heard, we entered into an agreement with iSpot last year to supply our data for them to bolster their measurement. So we're doing kind of a lot of the same things that everyone here is doing. Everyone's got slightly different kind of special sauce to it, I think.
So, just to amplify your point there, Justin, first of all, what I've heard from all of you is that the digitization of television is making it possible to move through the funnel. It's becoming more of a possibility. That's great. So thinking about what advertisers want, and if you think about if you were an advertiser or a media agency and you want to have consistent metrics for all the ad impressions and content viewers across the media channels that you are evaluating, what is your firm currently doing to meet this demand? If you could describe that, and I'll open that up to anybody who wants to volunteer.
I'll jump in. So our mission is to provide the highest quality leading ACR data, and we do it on the most granular, specific, detailed level that we can. And what that allows is for any of our partners or our customers on the ACR level to use that fundamentally granular data to create the metrics and merge them together. So I'm going to pick up on what was already said, earlier in this forum, and that is, that iSpot has been talking a lot about what they measured from the Super Bowl, and they're doing that by using data like this. We are, kind of the backbone for many partners like iSpot, and so the common thing between a commonality is impressions and minutes measured. So as long as we get that right, we should be able to match across different providers to bring those things together. And that's happening today with companies like iSpot. And then, the difficult things are things like reach and frequency, which we're enabled to do because we can measure across the different sources and platforms and apps and inputs and measure all of those inputs. So we know whether somebody's connected to a Roku box, we know whether they're connected to an Xbox, and whether they're, consuming data, video through those.
Yeah, and I think the exciting thing there is how much progress has been made even just in the last 12 to 18 months. We started several years ago launching a measurement partner program. The first piece of that was becoming the first TV streaming platform to offer Nielsen audience guarantees like traditional television. Fast forward to where we are today, there's now more than 20 measurement partners that are certified as part of that program, measuring everything from planning all the way through to outcomes. And so that gives advertisers their choice of which third-party transparent methodology they want to choose from. The second piece is them been really trying to think, how can we bring that cross-platform? And one of the things we announced last year was a strategic alliance with Nielsen to launch 4-screen measurement, which is reach and frequency deduplicated by age and gender across desktop, mobile, TV streaming, and linear television on a daily overnight basis. And that I think is exciting because it provides both the planning as well as the measurement inputs to start to connect the dots. I think the third thing that's really exciting is the progress that's been made to also tie the buying to the measurement across platforms. So in OneView, which is our ad buying platform, you can buy ad inventory across these different platforms and then measure things like ad collision, frequency capping, cost per unique reach, and the conversion that each of the different parts of your channel provides. All of that wasn't available just a year or two ago in the industry. And so while there's certainly a lot more to go, I think the exciting part is the progress that we're making collectively to get there.
Great. Justin?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all moving in the same direction, right? Our goal is to be as easy to work with and as transparent as possible, right? So we have our always on ACR data and location. We can measure clients' digital footprints, work with myriad third parties, many of whom have been on panels already over the past 2 days. We really want to kind of accommodate our partners, however they measure their media efforts. I mean, I think that's the goal here, right? I think one of the biggest challenges is kind of for the buy side is deciding on which partners to work with across, all of their media or all of their media and marketer brands. And that becomes really challenging. And so we want to support the industry that way and help them. We, I think, are thinking heavily about incremental reach because it's a big challenge, obviously, in the industry. I mean, we're talking about identity just before, but obviously that, incremental reach off of the linear TV screen is a huge challenge. And while most advertisers are thinking about it, right, I think they're still thinking about it as cord cutters and cord nevers. But the truth is that the linear TV audience has really become, bifurcated. And the lightest TV viewers are spending just 1 to 2 hours per week with linear television. And it's important to be able to reach them. And the lion's share of linear ad impressions are going to kind of the heaviest viewers who are just a small group. And so we're pushing across all of those. And then, of course, because we have all of this insight and data, we've announced that we're guaranteeing outcomes for our advertisers as well.
Thank you. Maggie, anything to add there?
Yeah, I'll add one more thing. I think on top of what everyone's just shared, especially to meet advertisers' need for consistency. I mean, third-party measurement solutions is definitely one of the important paths, so that is comparable across all other partners and inventory types that advertisers are activating on. And then the other important aspect, I think earlier on, David Levy was mentioning about the future, more forward-looking, is really the clean room solution to provide more flexibility and optionality for advertisers as well. And we have launched the Amazon Marketing Cloud, which is the holistic measurement analytics solution, so that advertisers can bring in their data set from purchase to media campaigns in a secure, privacy-safe environment, and then connect with Amazon event level data like clicks, purchases, impressions, and do very granular analyses and generate aggregated reports. So those reports can be used for campaign level measurement across different type of flexible metrics, as well as audience optimization and supply optimization. So we definitely think that's really another important trend and
then
important development.
you mentioned David Levy, and it goes back to his talking about the traditional broadcast network and cable networks coming together and putting together a holistic measurement service so that an advertiser or media agency can manage frequency and reach and all that great stuff. Your companies are coming in later too, but moving rapidly, as I mentioned earlier, into the ecosystem. We've got 3 minutes here. So my last question would be, how do you see your particular device-oriented or technology companies? I mean, you all offer convergent measurement within your own spheres. How do you suppose that we can get past that and maybe have some either co-opetition here or some kind of standardization?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I mean, one thing that's encouraging is that to that use case of, let's say, managing frequency across platforms, all TV streaming platforms, it already exists today. And so there are advertisers that are looking at, if I put everything into a buying platform, I actually have the ability to avoid ad collision and then measure whether it's reach and frequency or outcomes based off that. And and I think the exciting part is now going to become not just within TV streaming, but how that also expands elsewhere onto desktop and mobile, into other platforms. And in my mind, that's where the continued collaboration is going to continue to go.
Yeah, I think the device-centric approach is, I think, a positive at this point, because I think we've entered kind of with streaming and with consumer behavior being adoption of various streaming services, we've entered kind of a walled garden era of television, which I think is dangerous. So I think the kind of focus that we have of co-opetition, it allows us to kind of have line of sight for our partners in terms of where their ads are running and help them, as Dan was saying, kind of avoid ad collision, and really kind of manage that overfrequency that consumers are getting at this point, and really kind of manage and kind of help support the ad-supported environment. I do think that, again, I think we want to support measurement firms who I think are best placed to kind of come in and step in and commingle data and utilize the source resources that we have to help measure across all of us.
We've got a minute here, James or Maggie. Any?
I like what Justin just said, and that applies to us as well. I would add that, there are things that we can do. I already mentioned about, granular data, allowing people to use our data in combination. But I think that also, because what we're trying to contribute to the betterment of this, there are a lot of, if you will, negatives brought up about ACR data being challenges like, the things that existed with using set-top, which is geography and what have you. We've built a panel that is representative of the country, because we sell TVs in every, type and price point. And we're working on weighting these TVs so they represent the entire nation. And there are some things that we need to continue to do. They're on our roadmap, and look at how can we help the industry move forward with demographics and ACR. And there are things we can do there, because Nielsen is now applying those as well to measure outside of their panel. So, all of this stuff is.
I have to wrap here. I'm sorry to.
Certainly, no problem.
But I thank you all. I get a great feeling that there's going to be co-opetition in the future. And I want to thank Jane for all she's done for the industry. And it was great working with her. So thank you, folks.
Thank you for having us.
Gerard, thank you so much for that discussion. And thank you to the panelists for some fascinating insights there. Hugely appreciated.